All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brescher here. Today's objective is that we'll all be able to use a double number line to solve problems involving percents. So let's get started. With the double number line, basically the bottom number line shows us the percents, and we've divided it into 10 equal columns of 10%. And the top number line is going to show us the other number. Since 100% divided by 10 equals 10%, we can use this idea to find 10% of 20 by taking 20 divided by 10 equals 2. And if 10% equals 2, we can use that to find 20% by doubling it. So 20% would be 4, and 30% would be 6. And we can keep adding 2 following this pattern, or we can take like 10% times 5 to get 50%, and 2 times 5 is 10. So a lot of different ways once you understand this double number line approach. Let's get started with some practice. Since 100% divided by 10 equals 10%, then we can divide 30 by 10 to find 10% of 30. When we divide it by 10, we get 3. Since 10% divided by 2 equals 5%, we could also divide 3 by 2. So take 3 divided by 2, and you get 1 1/2, or 1.5. And now we just found 5%. Moving on to the next page. Now we want to practice use the double number line to find 5% of 50. Okay, 5% of 50. So the first thing we think of is how to get to 10%. Since 100% divided by 10 equals 10%, we can take 50 divided by 10 to get 10% of 50 equals 5. Now our goal, again, is to understand how to find 5%. Since half of 10% is 5%, we can take half of 5 and divide those both by 2 to get 5% equals 2 5/10, or 2.5. Now, how could we use this information to find 15% of 50? That's right. If we know that 5% is equal to 2.5 and 10% is equal to 5, we could add those two values together. Because 10 plus 5 equals 15%, or 10% plus 5%. And when we add these two values together, we get 7.5, or 7 5/10. Moving on. Now use the double number line to find 1%. Ooh, this is getting challenging. When we come to these problems, if you feel like you understand it, go ahead and try it on your own. Pause the screen, work the problem out, and then see how you did. If you're not sure yet, you can follow along as we go through this problem. So, in order to find 1%, the first thing we think of again is how to get to 10%. 100% divided by 10 equals 10%. So we can take 35 divided by 10 to get 10% of 35, which is equal to 3.5, or 3 5/10. If we want to find 1%, now we got to realize that we found 10% equals 3.5. In order to find 1%, we're going to have to take 10 and divide it into 10 parts. And we will get 35 hundredths, or 0.35, equals 1%. Now, how could you use this information to find 12%, or 13 or 14% of 35? So we know 10% is 3.5 and 1% is 35 hundredths. If we want to be able to use that information to find 12%, we could say, well, 10 plus 1 plus 1 more percent would end up equaling 12%. So we add their corresponding values, 3.5 plus 35 hundredths plus 35 hundredths, and we get 4 and 2/10 or 4 and 20 hundredths equals 12%. So we can use this 10% rule, and it's as simple as moving the decimal. Notice, when you divide by 10, you simply move the decimal one place to the left. And if you divide by 10 again, you move the decimal one place to the left again. You can always write the percent as a decimal and multiply. That's another method to find the percent of a number. But this will help you to understand quick methods to do it mentally. Moving on, let's try some more practice. If we know how to find 12% of 35, how could we use this information to find a 12% discount off of an item that originally cost $35? That's right. If 12% is the discount, then we're going to subtract 12% from the original cost. And we subtract the corresponding value for 12%, which would be $4.20. And that will give us our answer. So if you have a 12% discount, once you find that 12%, you can subtract that from the original cost to get the sale price or discount price. Let's see if you're ready to apply these skills. I have some practice problems. Again, I want to encourage you to pause the screen, try to solve it on your own, and then check, and we'll see how you did. First, what is 10% of 62? Let's see how you did. Did you remember to divide both numbers by 10? Once we take 62 divided by 10, we get, that's right, 6.2 or 6.20. Now, what is 5% of $62? Yeah, since 10% divided by 2 equals 5%, then we're going to take this value divided by 2. So $6.20 divided by 2 equals $3.10. If we know 10% and 5%, what is 15% of $62? That's right. You're going to be adding them together. So 10 plus 5 equals 15%. And when we add their corresponding values, we get $9.30. So let's put this all together and say we have a question that says, if there was a 15% discount on an item that originally cost $62, what would the sale price be? So this might be the original question, and these are the steps you're going to use to come up with the answer. It's a 15% discount, so what does that tell us? Yeah, we're going to subtract that amount from the total cost. So we're going to subtract this value right here from the total of $62. And when we do that, since 100% minus 15% is going to show us what our discount is, we're actually going to pay for 85% of the product, which is $52.70. So that would be the price after the discount or the sale price. Let's try one more. What is 10% of $22.60? Oh, we're getting more challenging. Notice again, 100% divided by 10 equals 10%. So we can take this value divided by 10 to come up with 10% of $22.60. And all we did was move the decimal one place to the left, $2.26. So 10% is $2.26. What is 5%? That's right, you're just going to divide each of these values by 2. Since 10% divided by 2, or I should say half of 10% is 5%, then we can take half of $2.26 to get the corresponding value there. And we get 5% equals $1.13. What is 15%? Okay, so again, we know 10, we know 5%. How could we find 15%? That's right, we add those two values together. So we're going to add our 10 and 5% and their corresponding values to get a new 15% is equal to $3.39. Now, you typically won't be asked these questions. The question you're going to be asked right off the bat is going to be something like this. If there's a 15% discount on an item that originally cost $22.60, what would the sale price be? And again, since we have a discount, that means we're going to subtract this amount over here from the original cost. So what would we get? The discounted price would be $19.21. Always pay attention to if it's a discount, or sometimes you'll give a 15% tip to maybe a waiter or waitress at a restaurant. If it's a tip, it's going to be added to the original cost, whereas a discount is subtracted. I hope that helps you understand how to use the double number line along with the 10% rule to solve percent problems. See ya!